Hi YouTube. I just wanted to do a quick video on this program I found very useful for references, for drawing or painting, more for drawing, just for values and stuff like that. I know just struggling with shadows and lighting is always an issue, and I'm always looking for good references. So I found a kind of rough and ready solution without getting into a lot of 3D animation software, or 3D modeling software, I should say. I found this program Specter, and it's just very easy and fast. It's not really meant to do a whole lot, but what it does is pretty helpful. So let me just kind of show you how it works here. Okay, so here's the program here. I got it off of Steam. If you're familiar with Steam, then you know where to look. If you're not, it's at steampower.com, I think. I'll leave a link in the description. But it's usually where you get video games and stuff. They do have some good free software. So I'm just opening a new document, or you can reload the ones you have already. But I'm just kind of going through the options. As you can see, it's kind of bare bones. But that can be a good thing, because a lot of these 3D modeling software, unless you really want to get into it and figure everything out, it just takes too long to figure out, and you just want to get busy and working on your drawing. So it's great if you don't want to mess around too much. So I'm just going to load a real simple character here. You can see there's only a couple shapes, a couple characters. I find that dummy model seems to work best. You can use the other one, but I find this one is a little more realistic. The way you can position it, I think, is a little better. But you see, it kind of functions the same way as a lot of other 3D modeling software. You have your little nodes for direction. And when I was filming this here, I was having a little trouble selecting the right spot. So I'm selecting like his torso. So I'm trying to select the whole body so I can move it and position it, because automatically it starts you off at this kind of awkward angle. I don't know why. Like I said, I just kind of started using it, but it's really not that hard to figure out. The hardest thing for me was the camera angles. You have to control your camera, you have to zoom using the mouse wheel, and you have your right and left click, and just to move the camera up and down or back and forth, it takes a little finesse. You gotta kind of play around with it until you figure that out. The mouse wheel itself is a button that takes it up and down, I believe, but it's not too hard to figure out. And you can see you can kind of spin and position the character, and it's not too bad. As long as you're selecting the full figure, you can spin them around. I'm still struggling with it right here, but eventually I'll figure it out, and then you'll be able to see what I mean. But so far I don't even have a light source. You'll see that too. Once you add the light source, you can really see how it can benefit you to use this program. And there are some simple objects you could add if that was part of your painting, but it's never going to be your only source, or your only reference, I'm assuming. If it was, I guess that would be okay. If you're good enough, you could probably make it work, but it's never going to be like a high def image that you can basically create an entire image from. You can see the image I'm trying to kind of match it to is a piece I'm working on for a story called Corgill's Crew. So he's a creepy zombie. He's kind of standing in a enclosed little like farmhouse and there's candles or a lamp maybe in the room, and I'm just going for that spooky underlighting, like there's a lamp somewhere there underneath him. And I'm not too concerned about it, but I just wanted to get a good idea of where that light would scatter to, just to make my drawing a little more accurate. But I would recommend, obviously the hands are not the greatest, but you can get a decent form. Like you play around with it, you just basically have the wrists, and you have the torso, and you have the head. You can move those individually, or the legs at the very bottom. The figure will kind of like arrange itself depending on it. Like if you pull that hand forward, the body will kind of stretch forward with it at some point. So it's kind of natural. It's not going to be good for every pose, but for basic poses, you shouldn't have too much trouble. So you can see I'm just trying to capture that based on the picture I have. So I'm just stretching it out, watching those hands. The hands are the main thing I want to get at least a couple references for, because I don't have anything specific. So I just wanted a little help with the lighting, just so I don't stray too off. As you can see right now, it's a little overworked in general, and just readjusting the shadow and the highlights will hopefully help me kind of simplify some of that, because right now it looks a little bit messy. I want those hands to really stand forward, so the lighting is what's going to make that come to the foreground, even in front of the face. So if I do it right, the hands will kind of draw your eye to the rib cage and kind of to the face and so on. So they're just kind of balancing all that graphic detail in the face. So I want to make sure they're realistic and everything. Okay, you can see I'm just adjusting the hand here, just trying to get it close. But you can see, I mean, it's pretty close. So all I did is adjust the light to where it looks okay, looks similar to the photo or the picture, and now I'm just kind of playing around. The head needs to come forward a little bit, and I need to zoom a little bit. Okay, so I'm just about there. So next thing I'll be doing is exporting. So you see the little picture icon over in the right hand corner there. That function's pretty straightforward too. You just click on the picture and it's gonna ask you where you want to save it, and that's about it. And you can see the results here. They're not outstanding. I mean, it's not going to give you a super detailed image to work from, but they'll give you a basic reference to start with. You know, a lot of times that's all you need. In a lot of cases you're going to need more than that, but it'll get you started, or at least help you work out some of your composition stuff before you get too far into a project. So I hope this was helpful. I think I'm going to be getting some use out of it, so I figure I'd share it with you guys. But thanks for watching. Bye.